Area is bursting with amazingly talented people, and in our Notable Neighbors series, we are excited to highlight them.
Today, we meet a woman that has a passion for creativity and a drive to try new and exciting things with her work as a jeweler and metalsmith. Take a look.
Well, I've always been an artist. So even as a child, I've always considered myself an artist.
This is Sarah Muse. She's an artisan jeweler, designer, and metalsmith, best known for her bold, nature-inspired works of art.
I love it. I love working with others and creating something special for them, but I also love challenging myself and experimenting and pushing the limits of what the metal can do, what I can do.
Sarah's studio is completely surrounded by nature.
It's special. It's very special. There's a sense of adventure. There's also a sense of serenity, and we just absolutely love it here. We have a beautiful view, a studio that was a two-stall barn that I love, that we redid and enlarged it a little bit and then put garage doors on it so I can just open up and be part of nature. Since nature inspires my work, it's really pretty awesome to be in the middle of it all.
Inside her studio, Sarah designs and creates original and unique jewelry, always striving to branch out a little further.
Sometimes I just experiment just to have fun. And see what happens, because if we don't experiment, then we don't keep pushing ourselves.
When planning out the design, everything gets laid on the table and mapped out for how it will look. She also keeps communication with the client to make sure she uses the jewels and metals that they want.
So anytime that I can take a moment and experiment with a piece, then I do, so that I can keep pushing my boundaries of knowing what I need to do.
Sarah is also able to use jewelry that clients currently have.
And that's one of the great things about like anniversary redesigns. Love doing those, because you're taking their original engagement ring typically, and then usually by this age, you know, we've had other things handed down to us.
Sarah takes the jewelry and uses it to create an entirely new and special piece.
So you still get that sentimental piece that you've been holding on to, but yet you are
Just in a new way.
in a new way, and it's yours, and so it's personalized to you.
In the studio, there's a collection of rocks, shells, jewels, and metals that Sarah gathers.
A lot of the found rocks are from just all over, some various places. I think all stones are beautiful. They don't have to necessarily be gemstones, although I absolutely love gemstones. It's a passion and probably a little bit more. And so I like bringing them together. I like pulling them together, being able to say, you know, this diamond is gorgeous with this pebble that I found.
Jewelry is her small outlet, and in the past, Sarah created hand-painted silks as her large outlet. And
then at Studios on the Square, we had a show called Think Outside the Frame. And I was like, I already do. So what do I need to do here? So I started playing around with manipulating copper and just having fun with copper. And so I ended up manipulating all these different shapes and forms and ended up framing them, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked, and I never touched fabric again.
the architectural tiles are beautiful on fireplaces, in living rooms, and in kitchens.
They're very versatile in the sense that that they can add a little extra dimension and fun without going too crazy.
Sarah uses photos that she's taken in nature as inspiration for her architectural designs. She turns the photo black and white.
And then I just go in with tracing paper and I trace what I see.
And when she does this process, it's less about the flower or the leaf.
It's sometimes more about the negative space than it is about the positive space.
Then she draws the shapes out on the metal and decides what spots will go out and what spots will go in by marking a U or a D on the backside of each piece.
U is up, D is down, because raised and recessed are both ours.
After the metal is marked, Sarah moves on to what she calls Zen hammering. There is something so peaceful about watching Sarah hammer these metals.
As I hammer, I'm hardening the metal. So I like to describe it as like weaving. So a woven piece of fabric is together like this. When it's like this, it's annealed and it's soft and it's pliable and you can manipulate the metal. And then as you start hammering it, it starts pushing those fibers apart. And so which makes it much weaker, makes it a little bit more temperamental, and makes it hard. And so then you have to come back in and anneal it again, make it soft so you can keep manipulating it.
She typically does this process 4 to 8 times, depending on how much design is involved.
It's a lot. It's very labor intensive.
And the project isn't over after the hammering. Chemistry's also involved.
So color can be added. So the black here is actually liver of sulfur. It's always a lovely smell in here when we're working with that.
Sure.
But it automatically makes copper and silver turn black.
The final product is a gorgeous hand-hammered copper tile that enhances any space, indoor or out. Some of her work is so minute and detailed, and she cares about the smallest features of her work. It's clear to see how much Sarah loves the balance of the rugged and the elegant. But her love for that balance is matched by her love of working with people.
I love working with people to find their style using my aesthetic and making something that's really personal, because I think that to me is like the ultimate, is working with people.
Yeah.
That collaboration is just so much fun.
She's so amazing.
She looks unbelievably talented. You must have had fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and just to like see her just kind of get in her zone and what she calls Zen hammering, where she's just going. And we were just sitting there watching, like you're just completely, you're hypnotized by it.
And to see the final product, you're like, how did you do that?
Yeah, it is incredible. So if you want to get in touch with Sarah to plan out an architectural tile or a new piece of jewelry, visit her website. Go to sarahmuse.com. Well, there's more daytime still to come.